Welcome back, fellow armchair generals. This is Gamer1745 here. And hey, before you even do anything, can I maybe get you smash that like button? Even if you don't like this, I'd still love for you to smash it. Really hope you would. Okay, well, we're going to continue playing here. We are playing, of course, like I say, Hearts of Iron 3, Black Ice. Okay, we've taken Tangiers, and now we also have Kunta? I don't know. Okay, wait, I see that he doesn't have supply here, and we're sending over some ships. So what we're going to do is we're going to come over here, and we're going to create a supply convoy. We're going to come down to Washington, D.C., and then we're going to see if we can supply right into there. No, I'm not yet sending, not that I won't, but I'm not yet sending supply in here just because a little further in, and if we can supply effectively here, we'll do so. What the hell? What the hell, AI? What are you doing, going to Gibraltar or something with the carrier group? Oh, why? Why? It looks like we've already defeated them, so good. Maybe they'll be supply enough in Iraqi territory. Okay, aircraft prototype. Evaluation. Here, okay. You can't even supply your forces enough to defeat Italy in Africa, so well. I noticed we do have ready for deployment. Oh, some destroyers. We've been needing destroyers badly. Okay, put these down here. Let's get a acceptable leader. Oh, I think it's here. Yes. Oh, we've got, ooh, Gregory Boyington. Wow. I didn't realize some of these guys were, I don't know McCampbell, but Boyington, of course, the Black Sheep Squadron fame. All right. I didn't know he's coming in as a Naval Air Special Unit, but that would be really good. Okay, so they're going to come down here. We're going to do that. Okay, let them get a little bit organized. Now we also have, I saw this division in there. Okay. Here we are. Let's move these this way. We have a, okay, Buckeye division. That sounds cool. And not him. We'll save him for some. There may be an army division going out to the Pacific, or because there's a nice Marine Corps. We'll save the armored one. Okay, there we go. We'll get some of these guys going here. And we're going to, because we have been so low on them, let's get these destroyers deployed. Probably also need a few out in the Pacific, but start here. anti-submarine patrols eventually. These guys have made it here, so let's let's just no leader. That looks like a Spanish unit there. Let's come out here. Convoy rating passive. No leader. Okay. Up here. Okay. Convoy rating passive. Let's put you out over here. Can we get over there? Yes. Convoy rating passive. Uh-oh, forces. Okay. They're under attack. Fine. These are just Italians. But if we have supply, we'll probably do okay. Okay, blood and fire. Okay, sure. WAC converts to wax. Originally formed as the Women's Army Auxiliary Corps in 1942, the organization converts to full military status on July 1st, 1943. Its first director was Overta Kaphobi, a prominent society woman in Texas. About 150,000 American women eventually served in WAC and WAC, the WACs. During World War II, they were the first women other than nurses to serve in the Army, while conservative opinion in leadership of the Army and public generally was initially opposed to women serving in uniform. The shortage of men necessitated a new policy. While most women served stateside, some went to various places around the world, including Europe, North Africa, New Guinea, for example. WACs landed on Normandy Beach just a few weeks after the initial invasion. General Douglas MacArthur called the WACs my best soldiers. Yeah, right. Adding that they worked harder, complained less. That may be true, as in, you know, worked not like physically harder, but you know, worked longer hours, and yeah, complained less probably, because they knew if they started to complain, it would make them look bad. They were better disciplined than men. Yeah, but now you got to realize, you're better disciplined than men. Well, we're talking 150,000 volunteers, where you had millions of men that are drafted. So, you know, they're going to complain less. They're going to be, you know, better disciplined, because they're sort of the volunteers, not just everybody drafted in. Many generals wanted more of them and proposed to draft women, but it was realized that this would provoke considerable public outcry and congressional opposition. And so the War Department declined to take such a drastic step. Those 150,000 women who did serve released equivalent of 7 divisions of men for combat. General Dwight Eisenhower said that their contributions in efficiency, skill, and spirit determined and determination were immeasurable. Okay, well, I know once in a while we do have one former military woman around here on the live streams, but compared to a lot of you, not all, but a lot of you, I'm old. Yeah, some days I really feel old. And I've experienced a lot of life. Not as much as some people, but a fair amount. And I will say this. I'm sure a few exist, and I may even seen them on TV or something. But 99% of women out there in the Western world, we're talking like America, like Britain, like Germany, in the Western world. We're not talking about even Japan or Korea, let alone China or India or Africa, but we're talking about the Western world. 99% of the women, and this is when Gamer gets political and rants about things, 99% of the women do not want equal rights with men. 99% of the women do not want to be treated equally as men. 99% of the women do not want equality with men. That is a lie, a fabrication, propaganda. Women in America, now I'm not saying, in Israel they do sort of sign up for the draft, so yes. But women in America do not want to be drafted into the armed services. They want equal rights. They want voting. They want to vote. I'm not saying they shouldn't vote, but they want to vote. But no, they get to vote for people to say sent to war, but they're not going to war. Well, okay, these 150,000, these are the Army. There's also the Navy. This, I do believe, I don't know that there was a separate for the Army Air Corps. I don't know if there was separate for that versus, I know there is definitely a separate, waves, I think they were called, for the Navy, and then there's very few, volunteers for, women in the Marine Corps, but again, those are just, freeing up soldiers at the front. Yeah, okay, and these women, and there's, I'm not saying there's not a lot of women that wouldn't, and there are obviously women going into the military today as a volunteer, but they don't want to be forced to. They want to have all special privileges. They want to have a, whenever they look around and they see something good that men have, they want to be included in that. So like CEOs and vice presidents of companies and partners in law firms and doctors and all that stuff. How many and if there's not a equal number, a 50-50 split between CEOs that are male and female, something is wrong in this world, let alone the corporations are sexist if half of the CEOs aren't women. What's the percentage? Are they ever going to complain about bricklayers? About plumbers? About carpenters? About machinists? About steel workers? So they want to be the CEO of the steel manufacturing company, but they don't want to be the worker in the steel mill. Yes, I do know that there is a strength concern on some jobs. But still. And I remember, I'm not going to mention her name, but a skinny little woman on Fox News, one of the commentators. What, you want to draft me and holding up her skinny little arms? What good am I going to do in a fight? That's just silly. Well, you draft them to do national service if you're going to draft men. And right now men in America have to sign up for what they call the selective service when you turn 18 to be able to be drafted. Now, they don't draft anybody, but you have to sign up. But women, there's no even option for them to sign up. So, yeah, you may want to draft women to sit back and be the typist, do rear area work of some sort to free up men. But no, they don't want that. And this has been my experience since watching this as a child, since the 1970s. It's always about where there's something that's cool or high prestige or whatever. The women want into that, but they never want to get into the difficult things. And so I think this whole, you may be thinking gamer hates women or gamer doesn't want women to vote. No, I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying let's be fair about it. Women want special privileges without the costs of those privileges. So that is my contention. And yes, 100 out of all of America, 150,000, okay, equivalent of 7 divisions in there, that's fine. But that is not. Yes, Mr. Duck. Thank you. Yeah. And hey, I don't care if people think I'm full of if I'm full of bullshit, fine. You can disagree with me. I periodically talk to some people here and they get feedback from some other people. Well, they don't like this or they're afraid. Look, you don't have to agree with me to want to hang out here, and I'm not going to dislike you if you disagree with me. That's fine. I may think you're wrong, but can you leave again? Why? Yeah, you gotta sort of Arno gets in moods, Mr. Duck. So please, he isn't too bad of a person, but we have to sort of put up with him. But yeah, so it's just because so I just have I've been watching this for years and years and years. That it's just not going to be the way. And so I could go into some more stuff about it, but I'm not. But it's just and I guess when I see women in military leadership positions, I have two reactions to it. In military leadership positions I'm talking about. Is one, a sort of a diversity hire or a quota hire or something like this. Not that they are the best for the job. I'm not saying they're bad. And I'm not saying that some of the women aren't the best, but that's my impression is, when we're talking about the modern military, that there are, they're promoted up, they're there just to say, hey, for example, a woman can tell a man needs to pay for dinner, yet a man can't tell a woman to cook him dinner. Yeah, I mean, there's all kinds of stuff like that. I just within a week or so, and I don't know how old it is, but it was like a woman carrying a washing machine, for clothes, sort of a big thing. And I don't know, it looked fairly big, and she was carrying it up. This was in Europe, I'm pretty sure. Carrying it like up from an underground, carrying up some stairs, like from a subway or underground or whatever you want, the metro or whatever you want to call it. And why was nobody helping her? Seeing all the men around, I don't know if this was meant as a social experiment, because normally people don't carry big utilities do that. Well, women claim they want equality and don't need no man to help them. So, and she was doing it. I don't know if it was particularly lightened. I would have trouble carrying it up the steps. So either she's very fit, and there are very fit women, of course. Or it was particularly lightened just for some sort of because the cell phone and everything was there. I'm not believing that was just purely organic. Some woman was like somehow took that on the underground to take it to get repaired, or bought it and take it and bring it. No. So I think it was more of a social commentary or social experiment or something that they were doing. But in the military, I think, like I say, they're either a diversity hire or a quota hire just to make sure that we have enough women in it. That's whenever I see it, my impression is that. And I'm not saying that that's the fact, but that's my impression. And my next question is, and yeah, we have, like I say, Tinky, who's around sometimes, and played War Thunder, and who was in the artillery in the German army. And my main editor for both German and English editing for my mod was a woman. I didn't realize that at first because people have various interesting screen names, and it wasn't clear to me that at first. She was already working for me, and I didn't know that she was a woman. But she was really into Hearts of Iron, and she was part of a reenactment group because she one time, hey, we've got this new cannon, and it was a 18th century cannon in our group. Okay, so she's really into it. But these are sort of unicorns. These are the rare women out there that are really into military subjects, and they exist. They absolutely exist. But I feel a lot. Why does a woman want to be an officer in the Army? And I really have to question, why are they there? As an individual. Now, maybe if I talk to them and go, oh yeah, no, because I really, and yeah, I was just in the Army ROTC, and as one of the people, well, that isn't being the real thing. Yep, I know, but it's military training, and I've also studied the history of warfare heavily, and I look at particularly being an officer in the military as a rather dark and grim profession, because your job as an officer is to kill people, okay? But your job as an officer in the Army is not to kill the enemy. Is to kill your people, okay? The soldier, the guy who's shooting the rifle or shooting the machine gun, his job is to kill the enemy. Your job as an officer is to say, Private Smith, you go run over there and pick up that thing and run back here. Because you're telling him to go out there and pick up something that's important and bring it back because it's important. But if not today, the next day or the day after the next or one of the days, you're going to tell Private Smith or Private Jones or Private whoever, and he's going to go get killed doing that. And then you're going to say to Private Smith, okay, now that Private Jones died, Private Smith, you run out there and get that thing. Well, while we're shooting to suppressive fire or trying to throw smoke or trying to make the job survivable, so there's a chance to survive. But your job is to send your men out to die. So now you're trying to achieve your goal with the fewest casualties. But notice in war, there's still the fewest casualties, not no casualties. And so being an officer, I see as a very, very grim job. So I have to wonder why women want that. Hello, Afghan AF, how you doing? I do follow a few on Twitter, the Afghan, resistance movements. So I don't know if you're from Afghanistan or just with that name, but cool. Good to have you here. Why is Twitch recommending me a streamer about hot tubs and pools? Because they realize men like to watch women in hot tubs or pools. So yeah. Okay. So yeah, that's sort of my commentary on all this. Now, of course, people are going to leave because they don't like my views, but whatever. I'm going to have my views. Okay. we've lost high popularity, or very high, and we're down to high popularity. Okay. We have heard that the Bismarck has been sunk. Yay! Yay, 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 yay. Bismarck down. Alright, rare materials, yes, you may have those, and... Oh goody, we must have had, what, some of our armored... Well, okay, no, just another division. Okay, but we now have a lot more. Okay, well, what we're going to do is... let's move that to necessary levels. Yes, Bismarck is down. Okay. Well, we've got a fair amount of destroyers coming, which is good. Okay, we got all these. Okay, that's pretty good. Was thinking about doing more second batch. Okay, we could use some more aircraft. Because we may need long range ones. Let's go with a couple of those. And a couple of just interceptors. That will be useful. Let's go with another. I know we don't have a lot extra, but let's go with another division. Nope, let's go with a mechanized infantry battalion. And we'll do armor cargo since we'll have enough space there for you to get you started to get organized up. Well, if it did, I know, and I very cool with showing you, what the current model is in this game, but trust me, Arno, the model in relation to what's going on with, well, definitely with Black Ice, maybe also with the we don't need a commando in charge of this. With just standard Black Ice, but definitely a a standard Hoi 3. The models have almost no reality or no relevance to the effects of what's going on. It really, yeah, Arno, it really doesn't correlate to what's going on. The models, they're just there for look and feel, immersion, whatever, but also just to give you a relative idea that you're progressing along the bunch. Yes, okay. Get these up to the top. Not that we need more of them, but sure, why not? Won't hurt us. Okay, interchange the troops. 5,000 money. Okay, 10,000. We don't really have that much money. Not right now. We should. Okay. Oh, 10. Okay. Well, I don't want the descent. Okay. Air organization. We've been doing naval organization. Sailing sisters. Let's send Bing Crosby. Now that's Bob Hope. Again with a, I don't know who, but we'll send Bing Crosby. He was a singer. And in what they call the road pictures, like the road to Singapore, the road to Bali, sort of comedy. They were a duo, Bing Crosby and Bob Hope. They both sung. Bob Hope was definitely the better comedian by far. The USA would have the in numbers in July. The Germans would be royally. Oh, they would be royally screwed. That is for sure. Oh, we've taken out another German sub. Good. Oh, you're okay. Let's go back to the base briefly, at least to move one sub or one destroyer. That was a crash. Damn. That was a crash. Well, we're going to we're going to end the episode here, but we're going to go back to whatever the last autosave or save. Thank you very much, and we'll be starting this again. I don't know why we had a crash, but thanks everyone.